Well, hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Sailing Madness. Today is a very exciting but nerve-wracking day because I'm about to do my first ever solo sail and you're coming along for the ride with me. What could possibly go wrong? Now, as always, the first job was to get off the mooring without actually hitting anything. And with a little help from the friendly marina staff, I was on my way. Just making it now to the swing bridge, the drawbridge, and then we'll be out in the Menai Strait. Yay. Thank you.
I'll push your bow off when you're ready.
Yeah, ready.
Okay.
Then it was just a case of going through the lock and then I was out onto the Menai Straits. Well, we are motoring on the Menai Strait. I'm going to put the sails up in a minute, but that was quite tricky getting out of the locks because only one lock gate is working. Very, very tight, very narrow. But we did it in one piece. So I'm just going to motor up and down for a little bit, get my breath back, and then we'll put the sails up and we'll do a bit of sailing. It's a lovely day. We got about 12 knots of breeze. Lovely. Well, it's a lovely day to go sailing. Unfortunately, my speed's not working, but we've got 20 metres of water underneath us. Some sort of alarm going off. Not many boats out today. Thought on a Sunday afternoon when it's like this, you don't often get days like this in November. Thought there'd be more boats out, but there's not. But there is another sailing boat coming towards us. Oh, in fact, I can see another one. So there's three of us out on the Menai Strait at the moment. Just going to go round the bend now, and then we'll start to see the Menai bridges. Right, so we just turned around now, just on a 180 degree turn. As you can see, the Menai bridges are behind me now, so we're heading back towards the marina down the Menai Strait. Just going to motor back down to where the marina is, because we're heading into the wind now. Then when we get there, I'll put the sails up and then we'll do a bit of downwind sailing back down to here again. Might as well make it easy for myself on my first solo, mightn't I? I could get the sails out now and tack back up to the marina entrance, but I don't see the point in that. I'm just being lazy, I know. But it's a lovely day. I can't get over how lovely today is today. It's just beautiful out here. And even with the motor on, it's so relaxing. Just loving it, loving it, loving it. Well, I don't know whether I'm just being a chicken here, but the wind is 16.6 knots of wind at the moment, and it's gusting sort of 20-25. The wind's really picked up in the last 10 minutes since I've been out. So I'm not sure I'm brave enough to put the sails up. I've got an hour or so. Let's just continue cruising and let's just see what happens in the next 20 minutes or so. See if the wind dies down a bit. It's not forecast to be strong today, which is why I came out. But I'm not putting up while it's gusting 20 knots. Sod that. I'm just being a chicken, I know. Okay, so here we go then. First ever solo sail. I've come back up past the entrance to the marina. We got about 9 knots of wind. Should be able to sail in that, shouldn't I? Come on. I know I'm being a chicken, but here goes. I'm going to start putting the head sail out, just head into the wind, put the head sail out, then I'll head back down towards the Menai bridges again. What could possibly go wrong? Well, there is peace and quiet. The engine is off. We are sailing. We've got 13 knots of breeze and we're doing 3 knots. That's not bad for a start, is it? I know I could trim these a lot better, but it'll do for now. I'm happy. Yippee doos. Okay, so the camera work wasn't the best, but as you can imagine, my first ever solo sail and trying to film it all at the same time was a little bit too much for my simple mind to cope with. But after at least an hour of cruising up and down the Menai Strait, it was time to get back into the marina. You can only get in or out 2 hours either side of high water, and as the tide was slipping, it was time to get back in before it was too late. And with a little bit of extra help from the superb marina staff here at Port de Norwich, I was soon alongside back on my berth. Okay, so there you go. The first solo sail is done. We're back in one piece, didn't hit anything, and more importantly, we didn't sink. And I'm absolutely buzzing. I was nervous, I won't be shy to admit that, but I was very nervous at the start. But once we got out there, motored up and down a little bit just to get the feel and calm my nerves a little bit. And then when we put the sails out and we actually did a little bit of sailing, whew, I was buzzing. But now we're back in the dock, we're all tied up and I'm ready for a cup of tea, and hopefully here in the UK in November we're going to get more days like that. I'm absolutely dripping with sweat. Now how often can you do that in November in the UK? But wow, I'm buzzing. Whew, that was brilliant. I'll never forget this day for a long time. Right, it's been a couple of days since my epic first ever solo sail, and I've got to tell you, I'm still absolutely buzzing from it. Can't wait to go out again, but that's going to have to wait, because as you can see, I've been doing a little bit of shopping. So, what have I been buying? Well, I've bought, first of all, a brand new VHF. That's because the VHF that's at the chart table at the moment is rather old. The cable is looking rather threadbare in places, so I think it's about time that got a replacement. To go with this, I've also paid extra for the optional second station that goes at the helm station. That's the controller for it there, and then the wiring to go between the two is in this box here. Now, if you watched the last episode, you know how much difficulty I had running a cable from the chart station down to the batteries for the battery monitor. Well, to help me to run the cables from the VHF all the way to the helm station, I've got, I'm not sure how good these are, going to give it a try. It's a 13-piece cable access toolkit, so I'll give that a try later on. Now, I've only got a limited time on the boat today. I can't spend all day here because of other commitments I've got today. So my plan is to, first of all, to fit the actual base station at the chart station. I'm hoping it's going to go straight in the slot the old VHF is in at the moment. I'm hoping I don't have to play around with too much wires. I'm hoping it is just literally pull the old one out and put the new one in. Whether that'll be the case remains to be seen. Now, before I tackle that first job, I think it's time to put the kettle on and have a cup of tea. Right, while I'm enjoying my cup of tea, I'm going to do something I don't normally do. I'm going to get the instructions out and give them a little read, because I am hoping that because the old unit is a Raymarine unit, this is a Raymarine unit, it is literally old one out, new one in. Same wires, same connections, same everything. Although, realistically, that probably isn't going to be the case, but fingers crossed, it's going to be a nice, simple, quick and easy swap out. Right, let's have a look. Right, well, I've had my cup of tea. I've read the instruction booklets to a degree, but now it's time to power this lot down and try and get the old VHF radio out. Now with everything off, I need a bit more light. Right, now it's looking like in here there's a bracket, and I think the screws are just on one side. Are they on both sides? Well, they're loose on that side. Okay. It's coming loose. As you can imagine, there's not a lot of room to work in here. Alright, that's one of the brackets out. One's on this side, we're already loose, which is just as well because I've never got a screwdriver in there. Right, that's it, that will come out now. There we go. Just as the battery dies on my head torch. Right, one old unit virtually out. Let's just disconnect the wires. I think I'm going to need to make that hole a bit bigger for the new unit, which is a bit of a bugger. Okay, so that's the old unit out. Let's just see how much more of a larger hole that the new unit needs. So as you can see, the hole needs to be somewhat bigger. Fortunately enough, I think there is enough space to put it in here. All we've got to do is work out how to get it in the middle. So as you can see, we're not far out actually. It needs to be just about half a centimetre on each side wider, and I would say about a centimetre lower. So that's good. Pleased with that. Right, okay, I think I'm happy with where that template is. Just going to mark it up on the wood here, and then we can start cutting. Bollocks. Didn't want to send that down there. Oh well. Right, that's the most of it done. I'm going to do a little bit of tidying up around the edges, and then I'll hoover up the mess, and then we'll do a little test fit to see if we can get the new unit in there. Got a feeling though I might need to make things in certain areas a little bit bigger. Right, okay, moment of truth. Everything's had a bit of a clean up. Let's see if the new unit is going to fit in the larger hole that we just created. I've got a feeling I'm going to need to make it a little bit bigger in places, but we'll see. Let's just feed the wires through. Yeah, look at that. Perfect, it's going to fit in there lovely. Okay, now all we've got to do is connect the wires. This should be quite a straightforward job. There's no NMEA in this, not yet anyway, that's an upgrade that's coming. So all I've got to do is plug in the aerial and the power, and I think we should be good to go. Right, so I think the only thing I'm not going to be able to connect here is the GPS. Looks like I'm going to need to get some sort of adapter for that, but that's okay, that can wait. Not going anywhere for a while, so I'll just keep that one covered up for now, but everything else looks like it's pretty straightforward. Right, so that can go in there. Right, got to drill a couple of holes and then we are good to go. Let's turn it on. Let's turn the power back on. VHF is number 9. We have power. Let's peel off all this. Oh, don't you just love that? Please enter your MMSI. 2, 3. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't connect the GPS, but it's It's found our position. Oh well. Right, last couple of bits to do. Connect the microphone. Although in the instructions they call this a fist mic. Don't like the sound of that. Right. Let's put this on first. I think. There's the. There we go. Nice little finishing touch. Now this obviously will be coming off at some point in the future when I get round to running the cable to that second mic station out on the helm. Oh, I'm going to change that, am I? Oh no, that fits. I can use the old mic stand, the old fist mic stand. Might be a bit loose, so I might have a look at the other one, see if that's better. Right, okay. Let's just put it on channel 80. Let's do a radio check, shall we? Port de Norwich Marina, Port de Norwich Marina, this is QDOS for a radio check, over. Obviously not there at the moment, or it's not working. We'll leave that for a minute. I'll try that again in a bit. You know, I consider myself a tidy worker, but look at the state of the boat. There is mess everywhere, and all I've done is change the VHF. It's a ridiculous amount of mess I've created in this boat in the short space of time that I've been fitting that. Right, just to see if I'm receiving anything, there should be fairly soon a weather update from from Helio Coast Guard.
Here is the Maritime Safety Information Broadcast.
So at least now I know I'm receiving.
Gale warnings. There are currently no gale warnings in force for the Irish Sea.
Short and sweet. No gale force warnings for the Irish Sea. Could have told you that. At least I know I'm receiving. Now I just need to make sure I can transmit. And to do that I've got a little bit of a naughty thing to do, really. If I put the handheld and the new one both on channel 16, and if I just do a very quick, right, so when I click the transmit button I heard on there the transmission. Let's just do the reverse. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that the new Raymarine VHF is now installed and working. So all I've got to do now is run the cables from here, or from the back of there, all the way to the helm to fit that second fist mic, as they're called. Can't get over that name. But I think that's going to be a pretty difficult job. Let me explain why. This is the 5-metre cable that I've got to run from the back of this unit to the helm station. And as you can see, both ends have a lot of girth. Now it's hard enough, I think it's going to be hard enough, to run a cable that width from here all the way back there, especially around this bit here. Once you get it out in the cockpit locker at the back, it's going to be quite straightforward. But to get something that size all the way back, I think is going to be rather difficult. And that's why I haven't got time to do the job today. I only came here really to fit that, to make sure it was working, so I'm happy with that. So I've got to go back home now for other commitments. It's actually my daughter's 21st, so I guess I can't really miss that, can I? So when I come back in a couple of days' time, I'll attempt to run that all the way to the back. That's a job I'm not looking forward to. But that's going to have to wait for another time.